You're late.
Don't just live life, maxify it.
Yeah, look, that has probably been my biggest question to myself over the last week. How are they going to approach their bowling attack? So I don't think I've still solved it in my own head. So I hope Sine and Hilton have got that question sorted. Because obviously being in India, you would love to have two spinners. You know, I mean, some teams would say we're going to have three spinners. Your subcontinent teams would definitely have three spinners. South Africa definitely won't have three spinners. But I think it would be really encouraging if they had two frontline spinners. So then you say to yourself, in my opinion, Nonkululeko Mlaba is actually the first name on the starting 11. I mean, there's no debate for me. She should be the first name written down. Now, the injury to Danae van Niekerk now creates quite a lot of debate, because you would not have to now choose another spinner, because you would have Danae and you would have Sinelus. And both of them together, now you've got three spinners, and all of them can hold their own, especially obviously Danae. But now we don't have Danae. So now the question is, are we happy that Danae can hold her end and get through a decent amount of overs? Coming out of the Pakistan tour, I think the answer would be no. We are not 100% confident. We see that there are glimpses that there could be something positive coming out of Sine's bowling, but she needs to put the work in and she needs to get more practice. So I kind of see Hilton after that Pakistan tour saying to Sine, we're going to India. We need you to bowl. All you are doing for the next couple of weeks is bowling and bowling and bowling and getting your confidence up, because that would be a huge help if South Africa could, get 6 to 8 or even 10 overs out of Sine. Would be fantastic, because now you almost have another gap for another steamer. So to answer the question, I think South Africa will go with like a 4-1 split in terms of the bowlers. I don't think they'll go 3-2, although 3-2 would be very confident move. It would be a very proactive move, but I don't believe they would do it now because they don't have Danae. So I definitely think Nonkululeko Mlaba will definitely start, and I have been really excited about her bowling, seeing how well she did in the Pakistani tour. I think she did phenomenally well. I mean, I think the first ODI, she bowled something like 45 dot balls in that first ODI. It was just absolutely phenomenal. So she's a talented bowler, and against Pakistan team who, yes, they weren't top of their game, but they are also very good at playing spin. So you would expect her to have had a sort of a hard time against them. And then, coming to Shangasi, that would be kind of the risk in putting her in, because now you're obviously taking out an opportunity for a seamer. And although Shangasi's got some good opportunities and she's held her own. So I'm an absolute fan, and I think she needs more opportunities. I just don't believe she's going to get the opportunity in the first 3 ODIs. I think if South Africa are playing some good cricket, they're confident, and they've got a win or two under their belts, I think then you're going to see Nondumisu Shangasi come in, and she must come in. So I'm also pro her getting at least 2 or 3 games in the ODI series, and I'd also like to see her sort of getting a T20 game or 2. But I don't think she'll be in the starting 11 at least in the first 2 ODIs.
Just to ask another question on top of that, Claire, we see a lot of coaches or a lot of captains talking about matchups these days. And so do you think that India not having, Smriti Mandana is the only left-hander likely to play in the first few games. So do you think that's another reason why they probably wouldn't give Shangase a go, considering the number of right-handers in that lineup?
Yeah, well, absolutely. I mean, Mlaba is your lefty, and she, so she just also gives you a sort of a different angle that she comes in on her approach. Sine is your leggy, so you kind of, got all of that covered with the lefty and then the leggy. So I do think, Shangasi or right arm or break, like how much extra is she going to give? As you said, you've only got one lefty in the batting lineup. I don't believe though that that would be the reason. So I don't think that's the primary reason that you wouldn't be in the starting 11 for the first 2 or 3 ODIs. I think it's probably more from where South Africa feel they're strongest, and who has probably the most confidence out of the spinners going into the series. So I think that's probably where it comes down to more.